Well, hi guys. Sunday night of a holiday weekend, and I was cruising along here and suddenly remembered, wow, it is Sunday night, and even though it's a holiday, I need to get the course up and working. So here I am. Sorry to ruin your holiday if I have to, but these 8-week launches don't give us a lot of time. Also, being Memorial Day and with its significance, I do just urge everybody also to take some time to remember the significance of the day, what it means to us, what it means to all of us, particularly in our class where we have so many active serving military. Um, I just want to thank everybody for their service to their country. Thank everybody who gave service to the country before you, and it's what makes us who we are. And I really hope we all bear that in mind tomorrow. Okay, now back to business 411 and what's going on. Once again, wow, great discussion board performance. Very, very happy with it. As I keep saying every week, it's making my life easy. Um, with one exception, and that's the fact that there's a lot of stuff I have to read. So, but I'll take it. I'll take that over having to draw a discussion out any day. You folks are doing a really great job. Please keep it up. I think you can see where people are sharing ideas and sharing observations. And part of the way I like to conduct this course, particularly because it is 400 level strategy course, is that we all learn from each other. And this is our way of doing it. This is our classroom. So thank you for your performance there. Okay, last week, again, I think it worked. I threw in some slightly, I don't want to say outrageous, but maybe some material that you might not have been expecting about market realities, different perceptions, and people have picked up on it and looked at it in different ways. I usually find that material about the new markets and the women's market, the market for older people and baby boomers, and as Peters calls them, geezers. Um, I usually find that stirs up quite a bit of discussion. What's interesting about it is, though, that it is borne out by fact and by reality. And we have seen a major shift in income distribution. We've seen changes in demographics. We see the whole demographic of the country changing quite a bit. What does this mean for us in business? It means our markets are changing. And just woe be unto that company that does not keep up with market realities. It keeps peddling its goods to yesterday's market. It's just not going to happen for them. So I thought that was a very interesting and maybe a little bit controversial, but not too much way of getting some things going. This week, what do we have for you? Well, it's week 5, so naturally we're in chapter 6. Chapter 6 is in the text, and Hill and Jones is, I think, very important, particularly to the case that you're working on, because it starts to talk about the environment that your company is operating in. And you may have had it in other courses. We'll have talked about some cases, business life cycle, where companies go through a startup stage and early rapid growth, and then maturity, and then decline. Um, this is something to consider. When you look at the material in chapter 6, it talks very much about maturity of companies, maturity of products, maturity of industries, and it also talks about the firm being present in an environment, in an industrial environment. What is going on around you? What is happening? How is everyone else responding? How is everybody else handling change? And or maybe stagnation, or maybe growth, or maybe decline. All these factors are coming into play. And I think it's very interesting in the case that we've embarked on, because you see, you had a very mature company. What about the product line that it was manufacturing at the time of the fire? All these kind of things are there. What were its competitors doing? All these are going to impact on your decisions. So chapter 6, very, very important. Go through it. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to try and answer. A couple other pieces I have in here. 3. One's from me on a warm evening a couple of summers ago, actually, now, and it just stays relevant every time I teach the course. I went out and sat in front of the library on the way home, and sat down at the picnic table and recorded this little message about one of my least favorite subjects. Not maybe I should rephrase that. One of my least favorite expressions, and it's one you've heard a million times, right? Thinking outside the box. Well, just watch the video. I'm tired of people talking about thinking outside the box. And I think you're going to get from that video my take on what that's all about. Then also, we're going to move on, and we have a gentleman who's going to talk to you about something maybe a little different. And it has to do, again, with the industrial environment, and maybe the environment right within your own firm, or in our case, within your own project group. And he's going to talk about something you really don't hear about too often anymore. How about thinking inside the box? Let's think inside the box, excuse me, and see what we can get out of it. Take a look at that. Very interesting concept. And then the final new piece I want folks to look at is a gentleman, again, one of the Harvard Business Series, is we're going to talk to you about a concept called disruptive innovation. And disruptive innovation is a very interesting idea. And he offers some great examples. And the question I might ask is, can you, in your project, can you stage a disruptive innovation? Is disruptive innovation something you're going to be doing? Is it going to affect you? Or maybe even worse, maybe more significantly, could be worse. Disruptive innovation by somebody else going to force you to react. Take a look at that. Disruptive innovation is quite the concept. So we've got all that going on this week. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything here. Pretty much it. Okay. Let me comment about the projects too. I've noticed some groups seem to be communicating with each other pretty well. One group in particular, and you'll know who you are. You need to jump up and move it up a notch. The tools are all there for you within the group setting, and if you need any instructions or any help on how to use them, that's fine. I've answered a few emails from folks with specific questions about the project. Keep those coming. I will try to answer them as I get them and as rapidly as I get them, because now we're down to having 4 weeks left, and it's going to go by fast. And we need to get this done, and you need to be definitely well on your way by now. If you're not, pick it up and get there. Okay? Again, any questions? We have some interesting things for you this week. Discussion board's been great. This week's question will go on and build on what you see in Chapter 6 and what you've been working on. And then later in the week, I'm going to introduce something to you that you may find a little odd, but something that we need to do, and I'll explain at that time. Don't want to ruin your holiday weekend, and don't worry about it. It's nothing major. It's nothing bad. So we'll go from there. And again, if you have any questions, please get in touch with me. Okay, thank you.